I know you can't actually mean the words that you just typed right now. So much went into Luffy's alliance beating Kaido and Big Mom that you end up looking kind of silly if you try to ignore all that context and just try to say, oh, they had more people, they should win, but they lost, so they're bad. That's not a good argument. Maybe you're a person that only read the scans and you never actually read the chapters or watched the episodes. And you know what? If that's the case, I got you. So let's go over why no other force in the world of One Piece would have been beating Kaido and Big Mom except for Luffy in this exact moment. First, let's start off with the opposition. We got the Beast Pirates, 30,000 strong. Among those numbers, we got, literal numbers, right? Giants. We got gifters who are like the strongest fodder, more or less, in the world of One Piece because they're fodder that have devil fruits, but kind of janky devil fruits, but they're still stronger than normal people. Batman right here can use hockey. I don't think I got to say much else. And a giraffe can decapitate lions' heads with just a single kick. So, Hamlet may look stupid, but he is very strong. He has to be. Then we got waiters, we got the pleasures, and even the Big Mom pirates, including Big Mom herself. Now, how did Luffy's alliance manage to beat such a monstrous force that could literally take over the world should they not go down on this night? Why would no other entity in the world, whether it be the world government, the Marines, the red hair pirates, Elbaf, whatever, why would none of those people be able to do what Luffy and his alliance did tonight? Let us get into it. So for starters, no other force would have the samurai with them the same way the Straw Hats do. And before you try to downplay them, keep in mind that Fleet Admiral Sakazuki was like, hey, Barcelino, don't go to Wano. Remember, they had an unknown military force in Wano known as the Samurai. That's an admiral, the fleet admiral, telling another admiral, don't go to Wano because those samurai are nice. That's not just the 9 scabbards. We also have, 5,400 other samurai down below fighting everybody else. They have a gross numbers disadvantage, yet they are still doing well. And one of those scabbards happens to be one of Whitebeard's division leaders, Izo, who's strong enough to fight against Kaido, do damage, fight against platoons of beast pirates, beat them too, and while injured, fight 2 CP0 agents, take one with him on the way out. No other force is going to have Izo with them. And on the topic of Whitebeard pirates, let's also talk about the right hand of Whitebeard himself, Marco the Phoenix. He not showing up to help Shanks. He not showing up to help the Marines. But thanks to Marco being here, we didn't have to deal with Big Mom pirates because he got rid of the whole damn ship. It was only her and Perospero, thanks to Marco. Without this move, we lose. Next, I know he's a Straw Hat, so he should already be counted, but I'm giving Chopper a special mention here. Because the point of Queen the Plague is that if you got numbers, he wipes them out. He starts a plague, and then all your fodder they go away. I highly doubt that the Marines have a doctor at the same level of Chopper. Chopper's easily like the best doctor in the series. Him and Law. And guess what? They're both on our side. No other force is dealing with ice oni bullets or whatever other plague Queen can pull out the way Chopper did. Not to mention, thanks to Chopper's actions here, we also got a bunch of beast pirates on our side now. Again, another big dub that we would not have been able to win without. Next up, we got Usopp and Otama. Thanks to these two, all of the really strong gifters that are on Kaido's crew, the strongest fodder, 2,000 strong, they on our side now, thanks to these guys. The Marines don't have an Otama, neither does Shanks, neither does anybody else. That's us. It's thanks to them switching numbers around like that Jinbei was able to beat Who's Who. Because we know Jinbei is stronger than him, but Who's Who was going to jump him. And these guys had guns that had bullets that were able to actually pierce his skin. So Jinbei would have had a super hard time if he won at all. The exact same thing applies to Frankie, because it's thanks to Otama and Usopp converting 2,000 of the gifters to our side that he was able to win versus Sasaki. But Kaido still has 30,000 people, so who else is dealing with them? Oh, we also have a mink army with us from Zoe. And I don't think that they were going to be pulling up to help Shanks or the world government. Not to mention we had the entirety of the Kid Pirates and a good chunk of the Heart Pirates. Both their captains are strong enough to fight against Big Mom. This is a very huge plus. Speaking of Big Mom, let's add her too, because thanks to her, she weakened Ulti enough for Nami to finish off Ulti. Not only that, she abandoned Zeus, so now Zeus is on our side. So that's another power-up for us. Not to mention she also knocked out Page 1, so 2 of Kaido's top officers are kind of laying in the dirt thanks to Big Mom. Not to mention Kaido has an advanced Conqueror's using son who is converted to our side just because he hates his father and he wants to go against them. So now we got that on our side too. We didn't even come here knowing that that was going to happen. It just did. And you can't understate how after Luffy got his ass beat, that it's thanks to Caribou giving him a month's worth of food that Luffy got the energy to get back on the rooftop and keep fighting Kaido. Or else he'd have got back on the rooftop on E and just got his ass beat again. So actually Caribou was a really big help here. But he's been with us since Fishman Island for some reason. So this is easily something that not the Marines or Shanks is going to have, right? And all of these things happening, all of these forces that have culminated together to fight against Kaido and Big Mom are backing the literal sun god Nika himself, Joy Boy, aka Monkey D. Luffy. And literally, not a single being on this planet can replicate the things that Luffy can do while he's in Gear 5. Making him quite literally the only thing on this planet that would have been able to beat Kaido here. And as you can see, because of Luffy, aka Joy Boy, helping all these people that brought them to this moment to help us in return, we were able to create the perfect concoction of circumstances for us to fight against Big Mom and Kaido and actually just barely pull this shit off. Oh, and last but not least, we also have Momonosuke as a dragon helping us. Because without him moving Onigashima out of the way, Luffy would not have been able to punch Kaido because him doing so would have killed everybody on the island. So because of all those things I said, all that context, all that nuance, that is why Luffy was able to beat Big Mom and Kaido's army here. Not a single force on this planet can replicate these exact circumstances to the T to allow this to happen anywhere else at any other time. Like perfect. Everything had to happen perfectly in order for this day to go the way that it went. Everything I named is something that can't be replicated by the Marines. It can't be replicated by the world government. It can't be replicated by Shanks and his crew. It can't be replicated by the Elbaf army. It can't be replicated by Germa, etc. The list goes on. So don't downplay Kaido. Because he was basically fighting a god that was able to roll like 50 20-sided die and they landed on 20 every single time. No one else is doing that. No one would be overrated losing to that level of luck, strength, and skill coming from the Straw Hat side that day. Any army in the world of One Piece that the Straw Hats brought this force to, they would have been able to beat them with it. So I hope showing you all this context and nuance that you clearly missed shows you that instead of being overrated, Kaido and Big Mom are not only perfectly rated, but they have performed better than even expected because they still almost won at the end of the day. One, just a single one of those things that I named did not happen, they win. But instead it was just time for the dawn to come.